All right. Hello. Welcome. I'm Justin and I'm here with
Derek. Hello.
and this is the original Donkeykast. That's what it's called, right? Yeah. Episode 17? 17. I just put it in. You'd think I'd remember. How y'all doing? Good?
That's what I heard. I heard they're doing good.
Yeah. Thanks for getting back to us, everyone.
Good.
So we were talking about arcades, right? And then I
Yeah.
decided we should start this thing if we're talking about arcades. So yeah, the what were you talking about? The second floor?
Well, there
Is that
was
what it's
this
called?
place in Minneapolis called Second Level. I don't
Level.
think
Yeah.
it's there anymore, but it was a barcade, so a bar arcade.
Was this the one that was
But
by Seventh Avenue or First Avenue?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
So
never
their
went in
the
there.
clientele they're going after was not at all gamers.
Hmm.
So it was just the aesthetic they had for the bar. Like, because we went there, me and a couple of my friends went there, and we went to play games. That's what we went for. They had a bunch of games.
Yeah.
So we went to play them, and we were like the only ones playing them. Everyone else is, being in a bar, probably trying to get laid and stuff.
Why would they go to that bar?
I don't know, because it was
Oh,
new, probably.
didn't you say it had a dance floor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they probably went for the dance floor, I guess.
Well,
Because
yeah. There's lots of options. I think part of the reason is it was brand new, so it was the place to go to for a little while, and then it just died away. It
yeah.
made no sense to me. I mean, I was excited about it because I was like, oh, you can drink and play arcade games. And then I went there and it's like, oh, they don't, this is not about this at all.
Yeah,
They don't
you're
have a
the
place to put your drinks when you're playing the game.
yeah, yeah, so it's like you go to an arcade and you're the weirdo for playing the games.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Like,
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
already, I don't need
Yeah.
to go to the place where I should feel like an incast and then feel worse.
That seems like a trap. Like they threw a bear trap next to a Pac-Man machine.
Well, it caught me.
It sounds like a trick.
And
Um
also, some of them were the emulators. So they had machines that they were
sure.
charging money for that were emulators. They stole stuff and then had the
Yeah, that's kind of
gall
messed up. That's
to
that's
make
pretty
you pay.
messed up. I didn't think of
Yeah,
it
and
that
that
way.
could be part of it too, because I'm sure if that gets reported anywhere, it's like, oh,
Oh,
that's illegal.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like you could have reported it.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I wanted to play more games, maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
They had another one open up in Minneapolis, the Up Down. That one's good.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
one's cool. And there are always people
yeah,
playing like quite a bit.
yeah, and they have like side rooms for like other stuff too, right? Like they had a Connect and a
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
stuff.
I only went
I
there
think
once.
I could be wrong, but
I went there once, like right before we moved. It had just opened not too long before. But I thought it was pretty cool. And there were a lot of people playing
yeah,
games and a lot of old games. I played Smash TV. That was fun.
yeah,
That game's
that's like
great.
the perfect way to because I think it's personally kind of a tragedy that arcades aren't around. I feel fortunate to have had one when I was younger.
Hmm.
I know I get that they don't, it's not feasible now. That's not the way the world works. But it's still such a cool concept. So to have it be like possible where it's just like, oh yeah, come drink and play games. We all like games.
I think everyone
Perfect.
gave up on it too early. I feel like like the barcade, like that. Like doing that was a good idea. It
Yeah.
works in a lot of situations, I think. I think those are coming back, honestly. Because there's so
Yeah.
many games.
Kind of like yeah. And there are new games coming out. Like there's a Cruisin' Exotica or something. There's a new cruising
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I mean, not
I
like they
played
used
it.
to, of course, but there's so many games.
It's good.
What's a
Yeah.
cruising?
Do you remember Cruising USA at all? Cruising World?
Oh, like a car game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you play multiple. Like Cruising USA was you play a race, and then it like moves you a little bit further on the map, and you play that new city, and it's like a different city or whatever, like Nevada, and now you're going through arches and you're whatever, and
Yeah.
then you get a little bit further up the west coast, and then they go Iowa. You get to like skip all this part of the country, and then from Iowa you go to the East Coast because they have no idea.
That sounds fun. I've
Yeah,
never
it's a
played
good
one.
game.
Is it only an
It's
arcade?
well, no, it was a 64 game.
Okay.
I'm sure they've also ported it to other things, but that's just how I played it. I played it in the arcade, and then Cruising USA came out on 64,
Mm.
and it felt weird to have access to it just on demand whenever I wanted to play it.
I bet it was
It
a
was at that
crappier.
phase of life.
I bet it was a crappier
Yeah,
version, right? Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But there's lots of stuff you could do that when you're playing in an arcade, the controls are kind of weird and janky, kind of, because it's all meant
Mm.
to be like if you hit stuff, your car flips around, but also always is like continuing forward motion pretty easily so that you can just hit the gas and get going again because it's
Sure.
an arcade game.
Yeah.
So you could do things like if you drive up on a ledge, you can do like jumps, and like if you hit an arch just right on just the right side, you like
Mm.
launch up in the air. There's like fun stuff you could do just by having it in front of you permanently, I guess, that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
cool.
imagine that the game is not as fun to play as I remember.
I mean, that's usually the case.
Yeah.
Well, not always, I guess. But no, that game sounds cool. I feel like I probably played it in an arcade at some point.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's one of those ubiquitous games that's like everywhere.
Hmm.
That's why it was pretty cool they made a new one because they had like, everything's getting a reboot, I guess, but they had those old ones. And I think Nintendo even had something to do with it. Like they made it or published
Hmm.
it or something,
Huh.
which
That would
feels
be cool.
odd. But
Did yeah. Did you go to the arcade a lot?
when I was younger, not not like a ton, but quite a bit. I had, hundreds of tickets that I never cashed in. Like I had over 1,000 that I needed to cash in when they went out of business. So I went there enough to have a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's not bad. You just like walk there?
I mean, I could have, but I didn't.
Well, your parents
Most,
dropped you off.
yeah, and mostly like going to a movie or something, you just go there early, go to the arcade for a while.
Hmm.
It was in
And
a
that
mall, so
was in your small town, right?
yep.
That's cool.
So it's weird that we had that. I look back on it, and I'm like, I don't know how that ever worked. How that ever turned a profit for them.
Well, I mean, they did in the 80s, and that's probably when they built it.
Yeah,
And
true.
then, and then why it be more of a hassle to get rid of it? Like it wasn't was it just an arcade or was it they sold pizza or something?
No, just an arcade. They had like
Wow.
no no capability to do anything else. But the upside is they just had to have one person working.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't pay them well because they were always not great at what they were doing. Like they were
Hmm.
always rude, and like one time I gave tickets to cash in, and I got some attitude about it. It's like this is like the only part of the job you have to do. What are you talking about? We all go out here, put in money, get coins, play games, get
Yeah.
tickets, and then it comes to you. You can get
Yeah,
mad at
that's
me.
absurd. You still get that everywhere. Like you'll get just a cashier. It's like, can I get a pack of cigarettes? And like, come on.
Yeah,
What the fuck? I'm not gonna get that mad, but don't make me feel bad for walking into your store and buying something. It's not
right.
like I'm impolite. But yeah,
Yeah, you could say, give me. Can I
yeah,
get?
yeah.
Yes.
It's always like, yeah. I get it. Your job sucks, but
Yeah.
obviously you need it. So chill. I mean, I worked plenty of shitty jobs. I've never been shitty to the customer ever.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I can't even imagine it. Like no matter what's happening, unless I don't. I've even like, when a customer's a dick, I never do anything.
Right. Then you don't have the high ground anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Just let it blow over you, and I don't know. Generally, if you don't respond with anger, they feel bad immediately
Right.
because that's
Yeah.
what they want. If I
Right.
just do nothing and like, but make it clear that I know, like I know what you just did. You just said something shitty, and then their general attitude is like to chill out.
Yeah. Definitely if you apologize, then you see like
Yeah,
their
of course.
their
Yeah.
anger just suddenly gets neutered, but they still want to be angry.
Hmm.
But I was told that.
Yeah, and that's what really ruins their day, which is important. Just that nowhere for their anger to go.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think it's just, but the back to arcades, I think it's just like who wants to play games in public in an arcade today?
For the
Like
amount
when
of money it costs.
yeah, and what home gaming is and what continued progress is, you know,
Right.
games aren't this like popcorn thing. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
that means, but they aren't this like cheap
Well, I
experiences.
know what you mean. Yeah, the
Yeah,
thing you put a quarter in and play a little bit of, and then you put another quarter in and play a little bit of it.
yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
That's not what games are. That is not acceptable.
Yes, yes, exactly. What if they made an arcade game where you can carry your progress or something
Yeah,
somehow?
that'd be fun.
Like you sign it with a name, you played Destiny a little.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You went home and played more. I don't know how much money they could make from something like that. But I feel like imagine if Nintendo like decided, hey, everybody, every studio, you're making an arcade game. You could do it with just one. Everybody makes one. They just put out 50 arcade games. I think they could revitalize the arcade industry.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can.
Yeah. And it's like, but it's just it feels like it crashed and then everyone said, well, I guess that's done.
Mhm.
And I feel like there hasn't been a point where somebody says, I could bring this back. Because I feel like they could.
Right. I think
It's like
the
it's a
trick will
VR.
be, yeah, I was just gonna say a VR arcade.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
I would.
No
Hey,
physical location, but all the games, perfect.
that's actually a pretty good idea to get VR stuff into a public setting. But you'd probably have to do something that protects the person with the helmet from people fucking with them, like a
Hell
cage
yeah.
or something. A VR cage.
Yeah. And I mean, they do have those in big cities. I'm sure they have them in LA and New York. I don't know about other places, but places where you go
Okay.
borderline like laser tag almost.
Sure. Yeah. But they're just not as popular as they used to be.
No.
Like if there was like if I heard there's some really fucking cool game in an arcade, I would go try to find an arcade and see what it's all about. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it'd be struggle to find one.
I mean, yeah, but like I'm just saying enough people play video games and even from like a peripheral thing. Like Kate likes going to those things to play Pac-Man because she loves Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't play video games, but she loves Pac-Man. Like and by now, like I feel like that's the kind of person that really the most common person you'll see it like the uptown,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think that's cool. Whatever.
Hmm.
I hate the idea that I hate the idea that oh you're not a real gamer. It's like
Yeah.
nobody does that. Like somebody says they like a movie, you don't go, you're not a real movie watcher. It's so weird.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
if somebody just likes Pac-Man, then just like they play Pac-Man. Do they have to be a gamer or not a gamer?
It's a game, and they're totally earning it, so I guess it counts.
It's ridiculous. You're like drawing lines
Yeah,
to
arbitrarily too, because
yeah.
usually the people who play that play like one specific kind of game,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
eschew lots of different kinds and shit all over them and call them walking simulators and whatever.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And they're yeah.
you're the thing you hate. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, that's what I want to
And the thing I hate.
say. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to realize this more. I don't like all games. I appreciate all games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And making game made me appreciate them even more.
Oh,
As
right.
like even the bad ones, I'm like, oh well, this is a crowning achievement that you should be
Yeah,
proud of.
it came together for Christ's sake.
Yep.
That's
Superman
something.
64, those rings were circles. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Whoa. That must have took him 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I feel like I used to think like I like any kind of game and I'd play anything.
Yeah.
And the older you get, you're like, I don't think I like this kind of game that much. There's so many
Yeah.
of the kinds I like that I think I'd rather be playing.
Yeah.
Or
Especially
even,
now.
yeah.
Game
Or
boom.
even, or even I like this game okay, but it's 100 hours. Never mind. I could play 10 other games I want to have played.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's more about time than money.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I have so many games I bought that I don't think I will ever play. And I don't have a lot of money. So that's bad.
Yeah.
But there's so many fucking games out now.
Yeah. It really is amazing.
It is. Yeah, it's of course cool, but now you have like indie movie games, you have so many. They call them indies. And you just have so many fucking games. And I was thinking about this, like in the '90s, like you waited for a new game to come out,
Yeah.
like,
And there
and
were
it was like
seasons.
seasons. Oh,
Well,
like
just
of
like
releases.
yeah. Like games
Yeah.
would not come out. Just like
Oh,
basically no games for a while.
yeah. Like summers were dead, which
Yep.
made no sense because that's when like every kid would be off school. Just, I want a new fucking game.
Yeah.
And then it's just
I
like, oh, it's time for school release window time.
yeah, it makes literally no sense. The opposite sense.
it's it's absurd. I mean, I get it because of Christmas, but even so,
Yeah.
you got summer birthdays, you got Fourth of
And I
July.
rented games all the time in the summer. The local rental place had this thing called a game buffet where I forget how much it was, like $20. And then for a week, you could, when you're done with the game, bring it back and get a new one and just do that as often as you want to for a week.
It was
So in the summer,
$20 a
that
lot
was
for that
perfect.
though.
Well, not if they cost like $3 each.
But only for a week?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea how much it actually costs. I'm just
Oh,
throwing
okay.
out a number.
Wait, do you get to keep the game for a
Um,
week?
you get to keep all. You get
Okay.
7 days where you get to just basically go through all of their games, which
Okay.
was absurd at the time.
Okay.
You know, this is like
Oh wait, you're not sure it was
20
twenty
years before the
dollars.
Netflix model.
Sure. You're not sure it was $20. That was just a number.
Right. But also the
Oh,
games
okay.
cost
I got hung up
three
on that.
dollars
I
to
was
rent.
just like, that's so much.
Well, the games were $3 each
Sure.
to rent for a day. So I imagine if it was 7 days, it was about
Oh, holy,
$20.
holy shit. That's a lot. For one day?
Yeah, probably. I don't
Damn.
know.
In the 90s, I guess. Yeah, I guess games were just more expensive back then, even to rent. Because they haven't been adjusted for inflation or anything at all.
No. Well, yeah, things just got cheap. It just became we didn't accept. I don't want to pay for a game. I don't even want to pay $1. Fuck you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
weird.
that's true. Fuck it. But that's a good deal, I suppose. If yeah,
Well, at the time,
yeah. I mean, and the idea that you could bring them back and back, and you don't have to worry about, you know, it sucking.
yeah, it was like an absurd idea when they announced it and started doing it. It was so hard to believe that it was a real thing because
Mhm.
I played games so often. Kind
Yeah.
of like I was saying in the summer. If you give me a summer where I have a week, that's all I'm doing that all week. I'm going back 3 times a day and I'm just trying out all your games. I'm going through all your games.
Yeah. So you did that. How
Yeah.
many would you go through in a day?
Oh, I don't know. I probably eventually the most I would do is 2 or 3, but because I had to
In
get a
a
ride
day?
there. Yeah. But
Damn.
eventually, I'm sure I settled into
Especially if you're getting a ride, that's impressive.
15. Yeah.
But eventually you settled into what? Sorry.
Probably just getting like one a day. Like I
Oh,
can remember being like, I'll get this one this day, and then I'll come back and get this one,
hmm.
and then come get this one, or whatever.
How many of them were
And
good?
plus, yeah, well, I don't know, maybe none. But at the time, that's not what it was about.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
about trying all those Genesis games. There's so many.
It's about consuming.
Yeah,
God, Genesis. They had a lot of bad games. Like a lot of
yeah.
Genesis games did not hold up to the test of time.
No, not at all.
SNES games, yes. Like pretty much like that's kind of like like
Yeah,
the golden age of Nintendo,
yeah,
right?
totally. Because then people, it goes to 64, which I enjoyed, obviously, but nobody has like rose tinted glasses looking back at that. They're all fully aware of what the Nintendo 64 was.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Nintendo 64 is special to me because that's like when I got into Nintendo stuff,
Oh,
basically.
really? Yeah.
Because I had an NES, but I only had Super Mario Brothers on it
Oh,
ever.
okay.
Just we just played that all the time. At least that's all I can remember. And then 64, you had Mario Kart, you had Zelda. That was definitely the first time I played a Zelda.
Yeah, that was the first time I enjoyed a Zelda because I played some of them, but never got into them. And then Ocarina of Time, it was impossible not to get into.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely blew me away. But A Link to the Past, did you play that before?
No, still haven't.
Yeah, I didn't either before Ocarina of Time, but I think I played it after Ocarina of Time because I heard it was so good, and I think they put it out on like the Game Boy Advance. I think.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, they did.
yeah, and I got that, and that was dope. that
Yeah,
was
I had that too, but I didn't finish it. I didn't probably play it too much
yeah.
besides some of the Game Boy Advance games.
Hmm. It's really good. You don't need me to tell you.
Yep, I've heard the best one, so
It might
it's got
be.
a high bar.
It's definitely up there. I really like the newest one on the 3DS. That one's really good too. Not Majora's Mask, but between two
Oh
link
yeah, 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 yeah.
between Link Between Worlds. Is that it?
Yep. That
That's
one I played, enjoyed, and then decided I wanted to play Link to the Past first. So
oh right, yeah.
that's why
They're
I
pretty different. I mean, the only similar thing about them is the overworld is largely similar. That's
yeah.
basically it. I think there's probably other things that I don't even realize, but I think the other world and stuff are not the same, and the dungeons obviously are not the same. That would be weird.
Mhm. Yeah.
Apparently, they were going to remake it. That's why it ended up like that.
Yeah. I loved that. That they
That
were
they
just
were going
remaking it and then putting your
to.
game instead.
Yeah, totally. That's way cooler.
Uh-huh. Like I would love that If you're like remaking Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
make a sequel. Why not?
Yeah. Just
They already
uh,
remade it.
Nintendo's so fucking weird. What other company would ever do that?
Yeah.
Like start remaking a game and decide halfway through, let's make a sequel to it. It's very strange. And only Nintendo could get away with something like that. And oh yeah, and in Japan it's straight up just called The Link to the Past 2.
Oh, huh.
It's just weird.
That's cool.
It's weird that they would change it here.
Yeah, it is.
Like we can't handle that.
Americans, we're not as good at video games. We can't understand sequels.
Yeah. Maybe they don't think a Link to the Past was as popular here.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
I mean, and maybe it's not. God, I can't believe it's so crazy how into like Dragon Quest and Monster Hunter they are over there compared to the appeal here. Like, are we that different? I don't know. I think that's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Something.
there are plenty of people over here that like them, but sometimes they don't even make it over here. That's how little appeal we have.
Yeah, right.
Like the JRPG never went away there.
Right. And there's like some, as far as I know, there's a lot of wrestling games that come out there that don't make it over here.
Like based on their wrestling, I assume.
Yeah. Well, that mostly. Then they have some like generic ones,
Mm-hmm. Huh.
but
I feel like they should just. I mean, they kind of are. Where you could just basically buy them
yeah,
on
if you
like the
import.
PlayStation 4 store and stuff like that. Are
Yeah.
those on region locked? I know the Switch. You could go ahead and make a Japanese account,
Okay.
which is cool.
Yeah, and they talked about that being a thing, so maybe it's not a thing on all the other ones.
Yeah, maybe that could be true. But that's a good
I know when I
idea.
did the Nintendo
So,
64 one, I had to cut out a piece of plastic. That was the region locking.
I
Like, open it up, take a piece of plastic, cut these little tabs out, put it back in,
don't
because
quite
that was the only region locking.
I don't quite understand the point.
Okay, so like a Nintendo 64 thing in America, it had like two slots cut here,
Yeah,
so that when you dropped it in, the plastic wouldn't stop it. But the
yeah.
Japanese one had them like over half an inch, and then it was a little
Oh,
square like here.
like I get the idea. I just don't understand what the point of region locking a console is.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I don't either, I guess.
what does it afford? Yeah, well, like, what's the gain for them?
Right. Maybe that's why they eventually stopped.
Yeah, I guess. I don't understand what they're trying to protect themselves against in that situation.
Right.
Like, I
Doesn't make
can't.
sense.
No, I can't. I can't even think of a reason, not even a bad one, that they might come to. Because they would just sell more games, right?
Yeah, if anything. Because if the people are going to buy them as imports or whatever
Mm,
it's called now that you're not really importing,
yeah.
um, like that's how they were going to buy that game. They were going to buy it in the English version or they were going to buy it in the Japanese version. They picked Japanese because they wanted that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe both. Maybe they bought both.
Yeah.
I don't. It's weird to see a loss of a sale anywhere.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense unless maybe they didn't want people accidentally buying like Japanese games instead of English games.
Yeah,
But
eliminate.
even so, they by that point they'd already bought it. First of all,
Yeah,
it's only isn't the box Japanese,
yeah.
so that's not a very good reason either, I guess.
If you have to go out of your way to get it anyway, you know,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
no, it's not going to be an accident.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's
I
a
don't get it.
relic.
It is. It doesn't like PAL tapes. Like everybody did it. I don't understand
Yeah.
the point. I really don't.
Well, I think it's like a vestigial leftover from different formats, from like different countries had different versions of stuff, and it needed to be a certain way. Like, wasn't PAL like a longer thing or something like that than it was wide
The
for
tape?
whatever reason? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
I
Probably.
think so. And then
I
in
bet it.
America we had 4x3, but then that all just went away
Yeah, because
recently.
that shit's so stupid. Like you're
Yeah.
just making your thing harder to sell.
Well, yeah, I think it was out of their hands ultimately. Like they had to do it to conform to what a country required.
Sure, yeah, of course. Can Chinese people even buy video games yet?
Yeah, I think I don't haven't heard about the Switch, but they allowed the PlayStation and Xbox, I believe,
Okay.
fairly recently.
That's probably where it hurts. I didn't even realize that they like
Oh yeah,
weren't allowing Chinese people to have consoles. I've read some story
yeah.
about like fake Chinese consoles over there,
Oh
like that I think played the games, but that yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. It's all so confusing.
yeah,
But that's crazy that they wouldn't allow that.
yeah. It is. And now they're doing like American movies too. So I assume they're just expanding, like the windows opening further
Yeah.
because it's a huge market to get into. I'm sure there's a lot of people pushing to get in there.
Yeah, the Chinese market. Yeah, there's so many
Yeah,
fucking people over there.
yeah,
You seem like video games would be a great fit for them.
yeah.
Because I mean, not to be racist, but I imagine it's pretty like tight quarters. I don't
Oh
know how
yeah,
that's I don't know how that's racist. That's just a fact. There's a lot of people in a small space.
yeah. Well, the space is huge, but I think they do live in big cities in
Well,
cramped quarters.
yeah. I mean, you have like rice fields. There's a lot of rice fields, right? I feel like that's a
Uh,
big thing over there.
I know I've seen lots of pictures of them, so I would assume yeah,
That's why.
because
That's
they look
basically why I
like
assume
rice
that's a big
paddies look
thing over
cool.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
they got the cool triangle hats.
yeah, and the levels of the mountains going up,
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful.
Totally. But yeah, isn't a rice field like super complicated? I feel like I read something about rice fields once.
Well, they've definitely, I think, perfected it over time. Like that's why all the water's there, is because then like nothing can dig and get to the rice. There can be no like diseases that affect it. It gets
Mm,
its full water. They had to like get the rice to a point where I think it can handle it, and then they
okay.
build up the walls. And I think they even keep fish in the water depending on where it is.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because then it keeps it clean and it keeps everything out of it, keeps
Wow.
bugs out. They
Oh,
have it, yeah. It's all down to a science. It's really cool.
that is kind of cool. I don't even know what the fuck rice is now that we like it's a grain, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it grows underground?
Well, I think it you just put the seed in and then it grows up
And
like
then
all um whatever grasses or whatever the fuck it's called.
you like pick rice? Do you like pick it off like it's like tiny little fruit?
I
I
think it's
don't
like
know.
I think it's like wheat, but I don't know. I'm laughing because I also don't know. I'm like, oh yeah, I
Oh,
don't really know for sure. But I think it's
yeah,
like wheat in the sense that you can kind of like shake it off the plant almost because it's
yeah.
the seeds basically.
Sure. Now that you say that, I can imagine it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I could be
Well, that's what.
totally wrong.
Hey, folks, we're not here to tell you what rice is like. We're here to tell you what we think rice might be like. You got the
And in that
internet.
sense, we're nailing it.
No, we're fucking crushing it. You know what else is like rice? This game Arms. You heard of this Arms?
Yeah, arms. It's a lot like rice.
Yeah. What do you think
You
of
shake
that?
it.
You think that'll be good?
It's only gotten more interesting to me as time goes on. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't into it at all. Like I was like, oh, that seems interesting, but I would never get it. That was
Hmm.
my thought the first time it was announced. But
Yeah.
as time goes on and they announce more characters and like see more gameplay footage, like watching actual players play it,
Hmm.
like their weird announced video, the first one when they did their huge presentation was like,
Yeah.
to me anyway, maybe it's just because it's Nintendo and I feel like they got the patriarchy on lock over there. But
Mm.
it seemed weirdly sexist,
Really, I don't
where it's like
remember that.
where well to me, so I was just watching and it's like a man and a woman fighting. It's not treated as a, an issue. Obviously, gender in that game is like everybody's just fighting everybody. Who cares?
Yeah.
But then it's like she was about to win, and it seemed like it was building to this big thing, and then all of a sudden the guy wins, and the announcer's like, "Oh, looks like Mister Whatever won," and that was it.
Okay.
It was like I felt like they were telling a story in their trailer, and then they're just like, "And he won now." Okay, moving on. Like, oh, look at her. She's hitting back and she's going to come back and he won. So let's just move on to the next thing because she definitely can't win. Like, I
Yeah.
imagined in my mind, I was like imagining the meeting where they were deciding how they were going to present everything.
Listen, we can't. I don't want to kowtow to those libtards. Let the woman win. We'll make them think she's winning just for a minute,
Give them a taste.
and then, with no regard to the story, he'll just win.
And then the announcer will just say, oh, looks like he won.
Yeah, that sounded pretty anticlimactic. Climatic. Climatic. I don't know. I can't.
Climactic, I think. I looked it up one time
Climatic.
because I
Climatic.
was like, is it really climactic? Climatic? Because climatic sounds like climate.
Yeah. Climactic. I don't know.
We're here to tell you about what we think it might be, climactic or climactic.
Ah!
We're not a dictionary. This isn't the original dictionary, Kongs.
You want to know how it is, or you want to know how two guys think it feels like? What's this thing with an orb? What's the Alex Jones? I keep hearing people make this
Trump's
Alex.
orb?
I keep hearing seeing and hearing references, and I have no idea what it means.
When Trump was in Saudi Arabia, they went into like this, like essentially their intel room, a bunch of people on computers, a bunch of dudes all looking exactly the same. Because talk about the patriarchy, Saudi Arabia,
Oh yeah,
it's legalized.
yeah.
Yeah, women can't drive; they have to be covered. It's bad. Things are bad,
It
and
sounds all
you
right.
know,
I don't know.
it's
Sometimes I
it,
go outside and I see a woman's face, and I can't get anything done. Well, I have to deal with this.
oh, so suddenly it's my
No,
problem that you want to be a person?
uh, yeah.
So anyway, the orb, they were there in that room and they had a globe and it was glowing. And it was, I forget who all put their hand on it. It was three people. It was like the king of Saudi Arabia, Trump, and another person. But anyway, they all put their hands on it.
What?
Yeah, because
Wait. You went through that kind of quick. So there was an orb,
yep. Oh yeah, it
and then
makes no sense.
these three dictators put their hands on it.
And that was it.
Is this the new
That's literally
axis
it.
of
There's no
evil?
context.
Is it the new axis of evil?
Yeah, they volunteered themselves.
We live and die by the orb. uh, that's crazy.
And also, like, do you not understand optics? Like what that looks like? I used to think Trump was good at that. Like I
Yeah.
used to think he was really controlled and like because I remember trying to find pictures of him for writing articles and you'd be like, I just want a picture of him with this person. And then you'd search and be like, oh, he's never been with that person. Like that's smart because now I
Oh.
can't use that picture. And then
Uh,
shit's happening now where I'm like, oh, that just must have all have been accidental because he doesn't know what he's doing.
no. You know what I've realized recently that he's like you know how those guys that fuck women by being like repulsive, loud, obnoxious morons and it works.
Yeah,
Um that's him. That's how he became president.
yeah. And
Some
also,
way you
yeah,
look at them and you're like, this guy doesn't give a fuck what I think about him.
yeah.
I'm gonna fuck him.
Almost
He's
just to
got,
prove him wrong, prove me wrong.
yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
know why, but I'm gonna do it. God damn it.
I I don't gotta answer your. I don't gotta take your test. I'm gonna fuck this guy. Yeah, it works. It does.
Oh yeah,
Unfortunately,
and it was
you know,
all blustery bullshit, though. I mean, because he's
it
like,
always is.
yeah, oh yeah, because out of all the people on Earth, I think he cares the most about what people think of him. He'll say he
Yeah,
doesn't, but holy shit, does he care?
yeah, he absolutely does. And the thing is, like he doesn't know when to. He wants you to hate him, or he wants to drive people away, but he also wants them to love him.
Yeah, he wants everyone to love him.
Yeah, no matter what he does, and he
Yeah,
is always testing it.
yeah. He's like pushing you away, and then also he gets mad at you for letting him push you away,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then gets furious when he's like, "Well, why are you over there now?"
Absolutely. That's 100% what he does. And, we'll all die because of it.
It'll be good.
But not before we get to see a little Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey. That hat, it's got a personality.
That hat. Hashtag
I
that
hope they
hat.
call it that.
Hashtag that hat. It's going to be all the rage. That looks good, and it's going to be at E3. There's no way
Confirmed
it's
it's
not.
E3 for sure.
There's no
Oh,
fucking way that's not at E3. Come on.
yeah. Well, I just
I
meant
think
like,
they have said that it's going to be at E3 even.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for playable like Zelda
Oh,
in
it
a
will
sense.
be.
It's
It
like,
will be.
give me 20 minutes or anything of gameplay.
Yeah, but I bet it's not coming out this year. What do you?
Because
I don't
part of
know.
the reason, the only reason, maybe not the only, but the only reason things are like new and unique and fun in Zelda or were unique and fun is because you hadn't seen them before. So you'd just be walking around and you'd be like, holy shit, what's a Hinox? So if all of that, if you had seen all of that ahead of time, like,
Yes.
you know, you'd
Yeah,
just be like, yeah,
it would
good,
it would have been a bummer.
totally.
But to basically see everything in Zelda, you basically have to play Zelda for 150 hours.
Yeah,
Like, there's kind of no other way to see it all. Like we saw a lot of elements without playing them before. I mean, a few. Like we saw like them attack a moblin camp and
yeah,
roll a boulder down and stuff like that. It was just like you can never realize the depth of that by just watching stuff like that.
for sure.
And like you said, 20-minute chunk.
Yeah. And I don't know if Mario would even be similar to that, but
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
I don't even know how that thing's structured, honestly.
Yeah, I know. That's part of the fun. I
Yeah,
hope weird.
yeah, me too. It's gonna be fucking fun. What do you think the hat's name is?
Hattie.
Wow,
Um,
that's what I would have said.
Hattie the Hat. Hattie that
Chewy the hat,
hat. Mr. Pants.
Mister Pants, Mister Pants. Oh my god! I hope his hat is named Mister Pants. How great would that be? His pants name is Jim. Oh man, I yeah, Mister Pants. That's got to be the name of his hat. Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
We're not doing like investigative journalism to try to like uncover the truth.
Yeah,
We're defining what.
I'm gonna write up an
Yep.
article after this.
Yep.
Mr. Pants, the real.
The hat's name is Mr. Pants. Confirmed.
I
It was confirmed by Justin. He thought it was a good idea.
wrote a headline right before we started this. In Trump's most offensive executive order, he greenlights Mallrats too. But it's worded better. But yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, right. That. Yeah, Mario Odyssey's gonna be there with Mr. Pants, and that's gonna be good. It's a fucking Mario
Yep.
game.
Yep. With everything, the way everything's going, it feels like it'll be the perfection of like the genre that they've created almost. Like Mario Kart 8, best version. Zelda, best version.
Mm,
It seems like they're really on top of taking their existing thing, figuring out a way to make it the best,
yeah.
to where you kind of forget that all that other stuff that you loved even existed. Like Mario Kart 8 is so good that I don't want to play any of the other ones.
No, yeah, Mario Kart 8. God damn, that's good. And Splatoon's coming out.
Yeah.
I keep, people seem like they like ARMS, but they seem like they think the content's a little light.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Totally.
but whatever. Splatoon, I fucking love Splatoon. Not enough people play that. I wonder if that'll get a bigger following now that it's coming to the Switch with that.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah, with that dope voice chat.
Yeah.
You hear about that?
Yeah. I think it could work well. I don't know.
Did
If
you
the
hear
app has other stuff in it.
Oh yeah, so you did. Yeah, but it's got like you have to like connect it to your to your console and stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, there's like a cord that goes from your phone to the console.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's like a
What is that? That doesn't
dongle.
make sense.
No, I don't know what the fuck. And you don't even need voice chat for Splatoon, honestly.
No,
Like
and I think for the most part they haven't even had it in their games, right?
Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
Is it
haven't.
so awful?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Yeah, because they don't want they don't want a kid to be playing Mario Kart and somebody's yelling the N word over and over again.
Absolutely.
And then they'll be like, yeah, you can't play this anymore. I don't know. You don't
Yeah.
want that.
Hopefully they have like a Insta ban thing where it's like
Yeah.
they
Oh,
have a recording of what they were doing and saying so they can just be like, nope, you're gone forever.
they
Or at
should.
least from the chat. You can't chat anymore.
Yeah.
Games, but no
That,
chatting.
that seems fair. Yeah. I don't know. Splatoon
Did you see
doesn't
it
need
cost
it.
$20 a year?
Yeah, that's almost like why even charge? Why don't
I
you
know.
find other ways to make that money? What are you even doing? That seems like a
Yep.
bizarre barrier for people.
Totally. And like $20 a year, you could be like, because they're giving you games as a part of the service, you could literally be like, here are the 5 games you get, also a year of gameplay. Like that
Yeah.
$20 has value on its own buying games.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Absolutely.
It just felt weird to me. Like if you're giving me games anyway, somehow there's this money is getting like circulated around without needing to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really weird to charge that much. It's just like why even charge? If it
Hmm.
was $10 a month, I mean that would be a lot, and it would be way too much for them to ask because they don't have a good online. That's the thing. Nintendo's online services suck.
Yeah,
How dare you charge anyone?
right. So that hopefully they do it right. Because if they do have the library like they claim to, I
Mhm.
mean, they don't have any more details about it as far as I know, but where you have like a Netflix like
Yeah.
access to certain games, a group of games that change over time.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then, at the very least, the online capability will have to be, you know, at least a little more slimmed down because all you got to do is download them locally and play them.
Yeah. I heard that like they were gonna like add some online features to old games. Like maybe you could
Oh,
play
really?
like yeah, like play like Super Mario Kart online.
Wow,
Like
that'd be amazing.
yeah. I I swear I'm not making that up. I swear that's the thing they said. And I think they might use Super Mario Kart as an example even.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Because,
Yeah.
like, you know how you hear about those old games where it's like, oh, we had a TV where it downloaded this game and we all played this much every week
Hmm.
together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it feels like that's missing in the modern world. I feel like that's as close as we'll get, which is you can only play this game online this month. Everybody get in on it.
Yeah, it definitely is cool. And I mean, Microsoft and Sony kind of do this similar thing with their Gold and PlayStation
Hmm.
Plus, but you get to keep it.
Yeah, that's
It seems
true.
like a better idea just for making money too, honestly.
Yeah,
Not even thinking it's somebody that plays games, but somebody that's trying to make money from a game. Give it to them for a month, and if they want it permanently, then they'll buy it
yeah,
because they've played it for a month. Like they put a lot of time into it.
yeah,
That's a pretty good idea. And what do they do? Complain about their free game?
yeah. Right. I'm sure
Well,
people will.
yeah. I guess it's
The
like
internet's
the
rough.
50-cent game
Yeah,
because it's 20 a year. It's so stupid. Whatever, I guess.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it just because it's like a step in the right direction for Nintendo, even if they don't execute it perfectly. At
Which
least
they
they're
won't.
doing it.
They won't, but it's fine.
Hmm.
I don't. I Nintendo is so backwards, and if they didn't make like some of the best games of all time, they'd be so
Yeah,
fucked. But they never stop making great games.
right.
But they make so many other bad choices. Why don't they just make games? Whatever. They'd be the biggest third party publisher on the planet forever.
And now they're the third biggest first party.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes they're the first biggest and not even that long ago, you know?
Yeah,
So well, I guess they know what they're doing.
right.
It's so crazy
Yeah,
that it's been since
fluctuate.
the GameCube that they're just like, we're not competing. Fuck you. We're Nintendo.
Right. Yeah. And it paid off with the Wii, but
Yeah.
seems almost like a fluke. Not that it was a fluke, because there was a lot that succeeded for very specific reasons. Like
Mhm.
everything about that was great
Yeah.
and great marketing,
Well,
perfect.
they're trying a new thing and they launch with the Zelda. And then,
Mhm.
the Switch, try a new thing, launch with the Zelda.
Yeah,
I think we know what they need to do. What did the Wii launched with Zelda and Wii Sports. The
yeah,
GameCube launch was garbage. There's like nothing on it except like Luigi's Mansion,
yeah,
and then Super Smash Brothers got delayed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to the Rogue Squadron game. I can't remember
Hmm.
if that came out at launch. I know it came out fairly soon after, but it was long
Uh-huh.
enough where it was like felt like it should have been a launch. It was one of the games I was looking forward to going into it. So
Hmm.
if it had been known and around that long, so
Yeah. I never really played. I think I played a little bit of that, but not a lot.
it launched with Pikmin too, right? Pikmin also, not Pikmin 2.
No,
Or was that
not
later?
launch. No, yeah, I think that was later. I'm pretty sure that was later.
The only reason I thought it was launch is because I thought, at least when I remember looking back at stuff, when I had one, I remember thinking it was one of the few games I could get, so I should get it.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. That's why I
Oh,
own
that's
Iridion 3D for Game Boy Advance.
okay. Let me see. It came out for the GameCube in December 2nd, 2001. Is that when the GameCube came out?
I think so. I think, well, maybe not then exactly, but 2001, right?
November 18th, 2001.
Yeah,
So, oh yeah, it was like,
a couple weeks.
yeah. Wait, just wait until you have games to put your consoles out.
I know.
It's, I'm sure you have reasons, but from my perspective, it just seems like if you just hold out and wait till you have games, you're gonna have a successful launch, which
Hmm.
is super important.
Definitely.
What console has had an like? I think only the 3DS is the only console I can think of that had a poor launch that came back at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Can you think of another one?
Um,
Sometimes they have good launches and
yeah.
not,
Right.
and then
And then it
can't
peters
hold
out.
up. Yeah, but I can't think of an example other than the 3DS, which nobody ever thought was going to happen,
Right.
which is kind of crazy that it did. God, they put that thing out for $250.
I know. In hindsight, it's ridiculous. Like extra
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous, knowing that they eventually lowered it and it became super successful.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, what were you thinking?
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, it's a handheld. You can't
Yeah.
put that out for $250. And then here's the Switch, $300.
Right.
But it's special. It's different.
And wasn't the Wii was like 250, wasn't it?
Yes. At some
So
point, I think it was at
so
300 at first, right? Maybe. But that's cheap for a console.
yeah.
And it's weird to put out a handheld that's almost as much fucking money.
Yeah. Games are slightly cheaper. I guess it's got that going for it.
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah,
so. But they're gonna sell the games.
hmm.
God, that I always forget that, but from now on, Nintendo is going to be making Switch games. They're not going to be making 3DS games.
Didn't they just released one, didn't they?
Oh,
Fairly
I
recently?
mean, in the future. I'm saying like when you had the Wii U, you had the 3DS, and a lot of people were working on 3DS games.
Yep.
But now you're gonna have everybody working on Switch games.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they were still making some 3DS games. I mean, not a bunch
I
of
mean,
people, but I thought I saw that rumored somewhere where they were like, "Well, we're going to continue to support and release games for the 3DS."
hey,
Because I just thought it was a weird decision.
they're gonna say that for another year. They do that
Yeah, I
every
suppose.
single time. They'd be
I
saying it
suppose.
about the Wii U right now if they had given up on that thing 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure there's footage of them somehow saying that, even though the Switch is out. Because there was a
Yeah,
Wii U game released, I think, last week or earlier this week.
yeah, yeah. I bet
So,
they're yeah, but it's like they're Sony's probably still saying though, but they'll sell you a PS2.
yeah.
Like they
Oh,
said
yeah,
that.
there's a wide catalog of games.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think they just say that. That doesn't mean dick.
Yeah, sure.
And if that thing's old, it's time for the 3DS to go. Like
Yeah, I mean,
that hardware is outdated as shit.
yeah.
Plenty of great.
I mean, they did come out with the new, whatever it is, new 3DS XL
Yeah,
Lite,
but that's the end. That's
I
like the
think.
micro. Like
Sure.
the micro came out and it was just like say goodbye to the Game Boy SP or say goodbye to the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a cool move. Like he was the best version of this system
Yeah.
to go out on.
Yep. Get it if you want it.
Mhm.
Play it. If you want to play all your old games in the best way.
Yep, totally.
And say fuck
That's
you to 3D. One last, we made a mistake. Okay, listen,
We know the 3D didn't work out.
I I liked it in some things,
Stop it with the
depending on the game.
letters. Uh, you liked it in some things,
Stop it with
yeah.
the hashtags.
I did too, but it also drove my eyes nuts.
Yeah, definitely after a while, you could feel your eyes like unable to focus. If you played it for too long,
Yeah.
you'd look away and your eyes would be like not
Mhm.
knowing what's going on. Just like
Yeah.
searching around, like what we're looking at? Why is it not weird
Yeah.
3D anymore? Why do I not
Yeah.
have to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wasn't a fan. It gave me a headache. Yeah, I have problems focusing as it is with my eyes. So
Really?
yeah, I didn't like the 3D that much. I liked the idea of it a lot, and I did
Yeah,
play a lot with it at first. But for like the last 3 years, I just flip that thing off.
sure.
I just keep it up all the time.
Yeah, I think I do for the most part. Depends on the like. I think I play it on Star Fox partly just because to that game, just I mean, that is what you're doing is shooting in front of you in the
Yes,
distance. It
yeah,
serves a gameplay mechanic
it looks cool.
reason instead of just being the way it is.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
also, the old version didn't have that. It didn't look as cool, and it didn't have 3D. So I want to play like the most evolved version of that game.
Yeah, for sure. I
But
fucking forgot they put Star Fox 64 on that thing. I do not have a copy of that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I don't have Mario Land 3D either.
really?
No, I mean
Yeah, you sold
I
me a copy of that.
oh yeah, there you go. But I beat it except for that very last level like two or
Yeah,
three times.
yeah.
That because that
That's I think why you.
I played that Mario
Yeah,
so fucking much.
yeah. I
It's
think
so
part of the
good.
reason you sold it to me is because I played your version through to the end,
Oh, okay.
and then I bought another one or something. I forget. Somehow I had another copy, and I was like, but I don't want to start over and get to the end again.
Yeah, that makes
And you were
sense.
selling it anyway, so I was like, oh
yeah.
yeah,
Ah,
get my save. Can I get my save?
yeah, for sure. For sure. God, that's a good game.
Yep.
I kind of hope they make another one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't see a reason not to just have a bunch of Marios going.
Yeah,
But I want a Mario Odyssey most.
definitely.
Like
I'm
this,
interested to see what they do.
yeah. I mean, 3D World was really, or 3D Land was really cool because it was like that meshing of the 2D and the 3D Mario stuff.
Yep, for the first time.
Yeah, in a really effective way. It made you feel like this could have been the way Mario went if Mario 64 never happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And in some ways, I like it better. I like the shrinking, and I like the shrinking and losing the power ups instead of the health bar. Like, I
Yep,
definitely prefer that. I think that's way more like intuitive and like
totally.
Nintendo. Like the health bar is not very Nintendo.
No. And to have it be like refillable by going in water too.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? That's so
It's a,
bizarre.
yeah.
I think that was a flaw, right?
Yeah, I would assume they didn't plan on it other than maybe just having it be a thing you can do. But it seemed like there was always water around everywhere, so it was never
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I never got that. And it didn't come up in subsequential Mario games, right?
Did
I don't.
what?
I don't think you could do that in follow-up Mario games.
No.
Yeah. Even the worst Mario games, like the worst one is probably Sunshine, and I still like that game quite a bit.
Mhm.
I played a lot of that. I wasn't thinking the whole time this sucks. I was like, oh, it looks so good.
Yeah.
I love jumping around as Mario.
Yep. And getting extra boosts and a jetpack and
Yeah. It
it's
was
fun.
fun. It was a fun idea. I could
And
see why
Delfino
people didn't
Plaza is
like it.
cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can see it. And it's also the fact like 5 to 7 years at that point.
Yeah. Well, I know that's why I didn't appreciate it as much as I should. If it had just come out like a year after a different Mario game, I probably would have been like, ooh, fun, a new twist on a Mario game.
Yeah.
But when you've waited after to get another version of a game that they've been promoting, like that Mario 128 video they made,
Right.
you remember that? Where it's
Yeah, I
just like,
do.
this is what I've been waiting for, and then you gave me something that's not even remotely close.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see why people were disappointed. Um but I don't see why Nintendo couldn't like make you make an Odyssey type game, which seems like a new thing. Hell, they could make a Super Mario Galaxy 3. They could make a Super Mario Sunshine 2. They could make another new
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers. Um,
All at the same time and release them all.
all at the same time. They could make a new 3D World, 3D Land type
Yep.
game. But if they put like one out a year of those different types of Marios, that'd be fucking dope.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, it's generally like one or two teams that make all those games. So I guess
Right.
they'd have to do some expanding. But you're Nintendo and you have the money and you probably should be doing that.
Right.
I don't
Especially
know.
now with everybody liking the system. I
Yes.
feel like push it out. People will buy it.
Get a 2D game out there. Get your fucking library out there.
I
Get
know.
at the very least get every Wii U game on that thing as soon as you can and sell the
Right.
shit out of it. Get Toad Treasure Tracker on there, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. That seems like the perfect Switch game. I don't know why, but for the Wii U, it feels a little bit different just not having it. Like,
Yeah, I see what you
I mean,
mean.
it was pretty cheap. I think it was like $20 anyway, so it was
Hmm.
fine. Maybe it was 40, but either way, it didn't feel like a complete enough thing to me since I had 3D World to get that anyway. But on a Switch,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, a little puzzle game, perfect.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that for sure. I never played Toad Treasure Tracker. I should. I enjoyed
I
it.
think I run. Yeah.
I enjoyed it in that game. And I
Mhm.
really like the idea of expanding, like giving Toad a little game.
Absolutely.
I love
And
that
having
shit.
it be perfect for the character, where it's
Yeah.
like, it's not intensive, it's just about moving.
Mhm. He can't jump because of his backpack. Did you know that?
I didn't know that that was why, but
That's why they gave him
yeah.
the backpack, so to have a reason so he couldn't jump.
Nintendo's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Like anyone's thinking about that, and if they are, they're not like furious about it.
I mean, it was a fun game, but why can't Toad jump?
0 stars. Yeah, I don't know. So E3 is next weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
is it in San Diego still?
LA.
Oh, LA now. Okay,
I think it
maybe
was
been
always
there.
in LA, wasn't it?
No, it was in San Diego at least for the longest time. That was when they, at least as far as I can remember. I could be totally wrong, obviously, but as far as I knew, it was in San Diego because then when it started becoming this like smaller thing there for a while, when they got rid of all the booth babes and did all that in that little era, whenever that was,
Mm-hmm.
mid 2000s.
Yeah,
Because
they
I just remember people talking about how now that it's not this big thing, it's not as fun because you're just going to a warehouse in San Diego.
Yeah. Huh. I did not know it was in
But
San
again,
Diego. I thought it was always in
I could
LA.
be absolutely wrong on that. Like
I
I
have no
said,
idea. I have no idea. Um, but yeah, Giant Bomb. Gersman put up a video, a Periscope of them tearing the studio down yesterday. So
oh,
I don't know what they're doing today.
getting prepared for week 3. I think they'll have to
Yeah.
call it week 4.
Yeah,
If week 3 already happened.
that was so funny. Oh man, that was good stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to their coverage. I used to watch those once they started being streamed live. I watched every E3,
Oh
as
yeah,
as I'm sure you have, and and once Giant Bomb started covering them, got much more enjoyable.
yeah, sure.
I think that was maybe the first thing I had seen of Giant Bomb was like E3 2012, maybe, or 2013. But it's so much more
Yeah,
enjoyable watching entertaining people that know a lot about video games commenting on it.
absolutely. And it's like you see the cringy, awkward stuff,
Yes,
and
and it's
you
fun
you
instead
can
of
enjoy it just
yes.
watching it, but when you watch other people watching it,
Yeah, watching other people watch it is much better than just cringing alone.
yep. Although
But
that is pretty fun.
it is. But when you're watching it alone, you're just like, God. And then when they're watching it and making jokes, then it's fun. More
Yeah,
fun. More fun.
to laugh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've been at it for about an hour and a half now,
Oh, okay.
and I have to pee. So that's the main thing. You got anything else?
uh, nope. Continue to still buy my book.
Buy the book, the detective mysteries, right?
Sequel coming out soon.
Is it the
Yep.
detective mysteries? I
Yep.
feel like I always get it right, but I always feel like I'm wrong.
Yeah, perfect.
Ah!
That's what I'm going for.
Is that the first line?
It'll
Uh,
be now in the special edition. I'll put it back. I'll put it in there.
All right. Well, that'll do it for the original Donkeykast. We'll be back next week. I've been Justin.
Up and Derek.
All right. See you jalopies later.